Chiefs Kingdom, ACU crew, welcome in, baby. The Chiefs made another move. They went and traded for edge rusher Joshua Uche from the New England Patriots, and we're going to talk about it. But first, this live stream is powered by BetUS. Mike, tell them about it.
BetUS, guys, head over to betus.com. Check out what they got going on right now. If you use the code YouTube150, you get a 150% deposit bonus match on your first deposit. And then on your next two deposits, you get a 125% deposit match bonus. These are up to $2,000, so take advantage of all the free plays you can make with those deposit matches. The site is easy to use. There's plenty of props on there, too. Go to betus.com and use the promo code YouTube150. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Steve, got choked. Let's jump right in. Daggone.
Mike, you're so horned up about Joshua Uche, you just choked.
I got Josh Uche. I got the name stuck right here. I said Uche. Josh Uche, Steve. A lot of people not familiar with Joshua Uche. Look, he come out in 2020, and he was part of the Michigan Wolverines. So if anybody knows about this cat, it's probably going to be Dan Harms. Isn't Dan Harms he's a big Michigan guy, isn't he?
I think so.
So he probably knows about him. He probably knows about him. Look, he was taken round 2, pick number 60. Coming out of college at Michigan, the dude was violent with his hands. He knew how to shed blocks. He knew how to get after the quarterback. So he comes in with New England in 2020. He doesn't play a whole lot. Like, not a whole lot. He only played 179 total snaps on the year. But he graded really high in PFF. He had 1 sack. He had 6 hits, 7 hurries. It wasn't nothing like crazy, but it was his rookie season. Second year, he picked it up a little bit. He got better. 17 total tackles, 3 sacks, 3 hits, 11 hurries. And then in year 3, he went crazy, Steve. He ended up having 56 total tackles, or 56 total pressures, my bad. 12 sacks, 3 hits, 41 hurries. So this dude can get after the quarterback. And then, of course, last year, it went down just a little bit. He couldn't sustain the 12-sack mark. And then this year, I don't know. I guess it's just a fire sale they've got going on over in New England. They're not expecting much, so they're getting rid of people. But I think Josh Uche is a solid pickup for very cheap. The Chiefs got him for a 6th-round pick. Okay, and I think that's in 2026 or 2025, like the next year, not this coming up draft. So I think the Chiefs are doing what they got to do to go all in on this 3P. I think Brett Veach is very locked in on this.
Right. Well, edge rusher was a piece that you had talked about adding to the team. So, I mean, he hit one of those. A lot of people were wanting to go left tackle, but how do you even go there at this point in the season? It's very, very freaking difficult. And then, of course, they already hit receiver with D-Hop, so it made sense. And if you pay attention, it probably made a lot of sense because Brett Veach loves Michigan edge rushers. Frank Clark, Mike Danna. Like, just keep your eye out on these cats because, I mean, we should have saw it coming from a mile away. But let us know what you guys think about the trade in the chat. I want to know if you guys like it, if it gets you horned up, however, whatever it does. Hit the like button for us as well. Just takes a second and helps get this out to more people. But, Mike, there's a couple things about this deal that I like. Okay, and the first is we have an edge rusher that's a little bit bendy and a little bit fast. Okay, and we haven't had a whole lot of guys like that. We don't normally go that route. That's not the typical Spags edge rusher type. It just isn't. But now we have that guy that can get after the quarterback, and maybe he can excel even further in Spags system, just like Charles Omenihu did when he showed up. So, I mean, we're only looking at it from what he did with New England. But this is a whole different system here, so maybe it can play to his favor. Another thing I like about this is obviously the trade was for a 6th-round pick, but it's going to be pretty cheap for the Chiefs as well because Uchi passed on big money last year to have a prove-it deal with the Patriots. So he took a prove-it deal with the Patriots, and then they traded him away. So he actually is not due a whole lot of money, so that helps out the Chiefs as well.
Imagine taking less money because you wanted to stay there, and then 7 games into the season, they just diabolically trade you to a team, by the way, that is the new Patriots. Look, this guy...
he's not mad about it. There's no way he's mad about it.
This cat just keeps falling ass backwards into good situations. Josh Uche is going to be a piece that Spags is going to love to have. Let's be completely honest. Between him and Leo Chanel, Spags is going to go ham with these guys. I think that is going to be another guy that he can put on the edge. He can stand up. He can do whatever he needs. He's pretty decent in coverage. He's going to be able to do all this. And when you've got Leo, when you've got Josh Uche coming off the edge now, I think it's going to be just it's going to be one of those things where Spags just has way too much fun.
Well, it's
here.
a little more dynamic now, isn't it? I mean, you can do a lot of different things. And that's why Leo's been such a great piece to this team, because Leo can do a lot of different things.
So does this mean there's a problem? Does this mean there's a problem with maybe Charles Omenihu's setback, or maybe Mike Danna is a little more injured than they thought?
I mean, it could be either of those, but I really don't think that even matters. I think you can't have enough good pass rushers. And I think that they were lacking in that. We've noticed that this year. The defense has been pretty damn solid, but they've not exactly been getting home or been pressuring the quarterbacks as much as we would like.
Right.
George Karlaftis has only came on in the last 2 games. Of course, Chris Jones does Chris Jones things, but that's pretty much been it. We haven't had another guy. Felix hasn't stepped up into that yet. He's doing better. He's improving, but at a slow pace. So it's like I think they felt the need that they needed to go out and do that because, I mean, getting a pass rush on these quarterbacks in today's league is a must. You have to.
Yeah, I've been saying this all offseason. I thought we needed another pass rusher, maybe 2. Come in, see what you can do. I think Uchi provides that. Look, he's not going to be a guy that comes in and sets the edge like Spags likes. He's not as big as Frank Clark was. Frank Clark was somewhere around 270. I think Uchi's around like 240. But if you remember, Frank Clark actually excelled when he lost a lot of weight in the last season with the Chiefs. So I think it can be done. We did draft B.J. Thompson. He's about that same size, 6'3", 240-ish. So Spags is wanting somebody like that. This might mean that maybe B.J. Thompson's not going to be able to get back and be as a piece. But I feel like Spags knows what he wants. Brett Veach went out and found it. He found a good contract situation. He gives up a 6th-round pick in 2026. That's not even that big of a deal. If Josh Uche does not sign with the Chiefs this year, we'll get back a 7th-round comp pick. So you might not lose anything. You're going to borrow this guy for just pennies on the dollar and maybe get a 7th-round pick back that's a comp. You lose a 6th. Who cares? It's like an early 7th for a late 7th.
It's a very Brett Veach deal, right?
This is a very Brett Veach guy, being drafted in 2020 in the 2nd round and then kind of underperforming. You know who else is a Brett Veach guy? Somebody like Sky Moore. That's why he won't get rid of him.
Oh, Lord.
He's just a guy that they
Let's
drafted.
not bring him up today. This is a good day. Hannah with the 10 bomb says, genius trade. One way to help your secondary is to have an even more effective pass rush. 100%. And then Dana has a 4.4% pass rush win versus Uchi's 24.1%. So that's a massive gap there. Pass protection is where Wanya needs most help, and Uchi can help. So, yeah, man, I'm with Hannah. I think this is a genius trade, really. You get more pass rush in the house. You know that you had Jalen Watson go down, so it's kind of like you're helping that secondary in a different sort of way. You didn't go out and get a corner. You didn't do this or that. But if you work on that pass rush, then that effectively makes the corners' jobs a little easier. So I think when Najee Johnson, when he's back from the concussion or whatever happened there, I don't know what the update is on that, or Joshua Williams getting out there and getting more acclimated and playing more snaps, I think it helps them if they have to cover for a little less amount of time, right?
Yeah, this is big. Everybody knows that the pass rush, it starts up front. When the corners tend to struggle a little bit on the back end, they're having to contain too long. That is really hard when they don't know where the offense is going, and sometimes the offense, they either know what the route is or now they're just free balling out there and they're going ham and the quarterback's just waiting for them. They're playing street ball. It's a little tougher. They can't even touch the guy. They can't do anything. They're going to get a flag thrown. We all know you've got to get after the quarterback. You've got to make them throw the ball quick. You can't let the receivers get into a groove. This is the thing. I don't think our corners have been that bad. I know everybody's harping all over them, but I don't think they looked that bad even yesterday. Nah. Went back and watched some of it. Still don't think they look that bad. Still don't. But Josh Uche, by the way, is awesome this year with 90 pass rushes as a minimum. So 90 pass rushes. Out of all edges and linebackers, Josh Uche ranks number 20 in the entire league with a 72.7 pass rush score from PFF. In an actual true pass set, he comes in at 76.3, which is even higher, which means if the guy's just dropping back and throwing the ball, Uchi has got a 76.3 pass rush grade from PFF. The dude can get after the ball. He can get after the quarterback. He likes to make things happen. He's good with the swipes. He'll knock the ball out. There's a clip going around where he sacks Josh Allen, knocks the ball away, this and that. He's active. He causes trouble. I think this is a perfect pickup by Brett Veach right now that don't cost a lot of money, and it's just a lot of upside. And look, if he comes in and he don't do all that great, does it really matter? It's not that big of a deal. He's just trying to make something a little more strengthened in the defensive side of the ball, which, by the way, is our best side of the ball to date. Is the
We're
defense.
a defensive team this year, right?
Yeah, this is a defensive team getting stronger here.
Yeah, but shout out Hannah for the support. You've been supporting the channel a lot lately. Appreciate you so much for that. Y'all get in the chat, show her some love. Mike, one thing, I'm going to throw a negative in here, okay? I'm going to throw a negative in here. I'm going to be the negative Nancy. That little short, fast edge rusher with the number 55 gives me D Ford flashbacks. And it made me sick a little bit when I thought about that. But
D Ford wasn't bad, though.
Oh, but
he had his one blip versus Tom Brady.
That was a huge freaking blip.
Huge blip, but look, that was a crock of crap, too. He may have been over it, but it didn't affect the play. They just wanted to call something, let Brady get back. We know what that was.
Enrique, what's up, my man? He says, does this mean Omenihu is not coming back early or not at all? I don't think this has any bearing on the Omenihu thing. I don't think that matters. I think he's still on pace to come back. I haven't heard anything that's setting him back. But the thing about it is, this deal was just so stupid cheap and made sense that it didn't matter. Even if Omenihu was coming back next week, I think they would have took this one. To be quite honest.
Yeah, I don't think they play the same style of football anyway. I think Omenihu's going to be a guy that can get after the quarterback.
They're going to rotate these guys too, you know.
Uchi is going to be a guy that's going to stand up and come off the edge a little bit. He's almost going to be played. He's a linebacker / defensive end, so he's going to be played kind of like Leo. The way Leo can get on the line and blitz, and then Leo can drop back in coverage. That's what Josh Uche is going to do. I don't think he's just going to be a hand in the dirt guy specifically and go get it. So I don't think it's bad. If anything, he just strengthens the linebacker core and strengthens the pass rush all the way around. If you go back and look, his pass rush win rate that Hannah brought up is 17.2% just this year. That ranks 14th out of all edges and linebackers. He's number 14 in the league just this year with win rate at 17.2%. Of course, Aiden Hutchinson was number 1 at 38%. What an ungodly number. But there's only 6 guys that are over 20% in the league, and they're amazing. It's Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett. We got a rookie in there, Jared Verse. Didn't think he was going to be so effective. Yaya Diaby, Steve, that's the kid we liked out of Louisville a few years ago. We thought he would have come in and been a guy like Josh Uche, and, we just didn't go that route. And then, of course, Micah Parsons, Trey Hendrickson's up there. But you've got guys like Josh Hines Allen, Greg Rousseau, Nick Bosa, Daniil Hunter, Zadarius Smith, Josh Sweat. Those are the only guys above Josh Uche. He is almost in a tier above. He's definitely above mid-tier pass rusher, in my opinion.
Right. Chris Russell says it's pronounced like Bobby Boucher without the bow.
Uche.
I don't care if it is Uche. I'm going to call him Uchi. Snoochie Boochie's Uchi.
Uche.
That's what he gets. Kay Wayne says, did you see Jawaan Taylor's stats against Max yesterday? Jawaan Taylor had a game. Son, Jawaan Taylor shut him down, bro. It's so funny because everybody's so quick to just dog on Jawaan Taylor, and we even get mad at him sometimes, Mike, with all the stupid penalties.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, the kid can play. He's a good tackle. I understand why they wanted him. I don't understand why they paid him the ungodly contract that they did. But I mean, he's a good tackle, and we've said that over and over again. Guys, I know he's pretty annoying with the penalties, and they're timely, they're bad, they kill drives. But when you really look at the big picture, he is a good tackle. He's just got to get it together and execute a little better. So I'm glad you brought that up, Kay Wayne. Good call on that one because he had a game and a half yesterday. Mike, we got a 5-bomb from Greg Goodwin. Says ACU, Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelsey are the GOATs, baby. Mike, he put us in the same breath as the Chiefs, Mahomes, and Kelsey.
Man, I don't know about it.
Woo-hoo.
The Ring of Honor. Are we going to get up there? Who's going to get the Ring of Honor first, us or McCole Hardman?
I think we deserve it more than McCole.
I don't know, man. Did you catch a Super Bowl game winner?
That's true. I could have caught that, though.
I don't know about it.
I could have caught that one. Appreciate the 5, Greg. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. We got Hannah with another 2. Says this defense is ready for KC versus Lions in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, man, that's something I want to talk about for 2 seconds, and we'll get back to Josh Uche. But the Lions are like the America's darling right now. They're the greatest team of all time. I'm reading it everywhere. They're a shoe-in for the Super Bowl. They're the best team in the league. Even the Raiders fans were so mad at us smacking that ass yesterday. They had to be like, well, why don't you all go beat the Lions then? And it's like, well, we will. They're not worried about the freaking Lions.
Everybody's calling out a preseason game versus the Lions.
What?
Who cares?
No one cares about that. Appreciate the two, Hannah. But yeah, man, this defense, I think they're Mike. We talk about it every year, but Spags defenses they tend to get better towards the end of the year. Usually about this time of the season, like the 8 week, the 9 week mark, is when they start finally clicking. And we're already one of the best defenses in the NFL. We shut down every freaking running back in the league. Like literally shut them down. And the past defense has not been that bad. It's not too shabby. So I think this defense could continue to freaking get better, and they're still getting pieces now that you got Uchi. You also have Omenihu coming back. Like, man, I think this defense could go to another level in the next few weeks. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think Spags is going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm telling you, when you got Leo, when you got a piece like him that's so movable, and then you bring another guy on here just like him, I think it's going to be fun. I really do. I don't think this is not a negative. And I know a lot of people's like, well, we need a left tackle. Well, look, there's a lot of people in this league that needs a good left tackle. They're just not going to give up one for what Brett Veach is going to offer. Brett Veach is not going to offer a first or second, round pick for a tackle. He's not going to go out. There's a lot of teams that need good corners. There's not a lot of good corners in this league. Okay. So they're just not going to give them up for nothing. And Brett Veach is not offering top round value for that. And again, I don't think our corners have been all that stinking bad. Everybody wants to dog on them, but it's not been that bad. So I think if anything, the pass rush helps the corners. The pass rush makes the corners look even better. They don't have to defend, Like, look at yesterday. Josh Williams. Everybody was so angry about Josh Williams. Come to find out, after PFF and everybody comes out with their stuff, you go back and watch all 22, he allowed one catch. One catch for 17 yards, and it wasn't even a legit catch. He wasn't beat on the play. It was because he was the closest defender in zone coverage.
Right.
That was it. The closest defender in zone coverage, who he was backing up to go play quarters off the edge. He was running to, 25 yards back to play deep fourth of the field, and they completed a check down underneath him. That was the only allowed catch from Josh Williams. And again, everybody's all over him. I'm not excusing the stupid penalties, but our corners were not that bad yesterday. They just wasn't.
They're not going to be either. I think everybody can chill a little bit on that one. I think we're okay. TGZ, been a member for 11 months now. Shout out TGZ, baby. Let's go. Since I missed the stream yesterday, I just wanted to say the Raiders suck. And D-Hop already impressing and still undefeated. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah, man. You wake up Monday morning, you were still undefeated, and then the Chiefs go add another piece. I mean, you have to be happy with how things are lining up here. This team is going to hit their stride eventually. I think they're going to hit it at the right time. You don't want to blow your load too early, Mike. No matter how much blue chew you're snorting, how much wiener dope you're snorting out there, you don't want to blow it too early. You want to hit that groove, baby. You got to get some time in before you just go all out. You know what I'm saying? I warm it up a little bit. So I'm excited about how this team is coming together. They're getting some grinded out wins, getting some character early. Like the team itself is getting some character built up. And I think this is just going to prove to come in very handy come playoff time. But shout out TGZ for being a member. You guys can also be a member. Go hit that join button. It's $4.99 a month and be a part of the ACU crew. Go do that. You will love it. And Roulette King with the 2-bomb says, how about Baltimore and Cincinnati lost? Lamar is mid AF. Yeah, man. They're both not looking the greatest. Like Baltimore, obviously a little better than Cincy. I did see where Joe Burrow said, we just need to win 7 out of 9. That's very doable. And like, that's the mentality they're going to have from here on out. So, I mean, any given time, I think these teams can turn it on and give the Chiefs a run for their money. We've seen that. So, I mean, it's hard to count them completely out, but it is nice for the Chiefs to be in that driver's seat heading towards that 1 seed, that bye.
Yeah. Baltimore was supposed to be the one that's supposed to just be, the chief killer. And they lose to the Browns, and they lose to Jameis Winston. Nobody's scared of Baltimore. Like, we're just not. I think Spags likes to put, for one, Spags comes up with enough cool stuff with the defense that he has Lamar Jackson looking like he's in a dishwasher. Like, this dude's spinning. He's in the spin cycle. He don't know what to do. He's out there. He got chased so much and was doing so many like spins and got so disoriented he misses Zay Flowers in the back of the end zone wide open, just launches it over his head by 30 yards because he was dizzy. Like, it's just I don't fear Baltimore. We always tend we've got Nick Bolton. He always tends to play versus Derrick Henry pretty well. Cincinnati's not even in the conversation. They're out of the playoffs. They're not going to get in.
Yeah. Shout out Rev, Dr. Chief Bloody Grass over on X. Says, great pod, boys. Got to walk the dog. Appreciate you watching. If you're watching on X, make sure to repost this out to your followers. Try to get the word out over there. Trying to grow that platform, and it's a tough one. It's a tough nut to crack over there. So would appreciate that. Also, you guys watching here on YouTube, hit the like button for us. It just takes a second. It helps us tremendously. If you're watching on Facebook, you can share that out as well. Appreciate you guys. And Rick Martinez says, timing the horn is key, Mike. Rick knows. And Julia says, no wonder Steve got 14 kids.
Timing the horn.
You just have to know how to do it, man. Elgin Throw says, Mike, I thought you were bald all this time. Let's see that hair you got under that cap.
No, I'm not bald.
Mike's got luscious locks.
I've got hair down to here, man.
It's crazy.
Dude, I've got
on the other hand,
I've got
I'm
like
bald.
the Fabio cut.
He got us mixed up. I'm the bald one. Mike's got the Fabio. Shout out Doug, been a member for 14 months now. Says, great work, guys. And you were right about Josh Williams. He's a physical corner, 3-peat and coming. Let's freaking go. Josh Williams has all the tools. He's got all the intangibles, the speed, the length, the strength. Like he's scrappy, he's hands-on. Like he's what a Spags corner should be. And that's why we thought maybe he could come in and be that next Charvarius Ward, that next L'Jarius Sneed. And yeah, he's not started off on exactly the right foot, but let's be honest here. People hated Charvarius Ward at first. They were ready to ship him out. They hated him. L'Jarius Sneed was not L'Jarius Sneed his first 2 years in Kansas City. So give the kid some grace, give him some time, let him get in there, and let's see what he can do. If he continues to regress, then okay, it is what it is. We can Sky Moore him. But until then, let's just see what he can do. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, well, just to your point, Cam Taylor-Britt is supposed to be like a great corner. He's supposed to have had a great season.
Right.
You've got Charvarius Ward, you just mentioned. They're rated 59 and a 60 in their defensive coverage grades, and they've played triple the amount of Josh Williams, and Josh Williams is right there with him. He's right there with him. He's like at a 53, 54. So he's not that far behind. If you want to look at run defense, that's what Josh Williams offers you pretty good. I want to say Josh Williams is out of all corners and safeties. Let me bring this up because I don't want to get this wrong because it is a nice stat for Josh Williams. Josh Williams is actually a 71 on run defense, which ranks him as the, let me get it just right. It ranks him as a top 40, maybe a top 30 corner in the league. Oh, my bad. Here it is. Top 26. He's a top 26 corner when it comes to run defense and supporting the run game. So that just goes to show that he is physical. He'll put his head down and hit. He's physical. He does things like that. When it comes to the coverage and everything, a lot of these you're going to see is when they're getting beat because of the way the play call is just a perfect play call to what our defense does. We sit down in a zone. It's tough, man. When you're running a zone, you've got to cover 10 yards of area, and there's 5 different receivers possibly running through that 10 yards. You never know when the ball's coming. It's a tough reaction game. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, one catch yesterday for 17 yards. It wasn't even really a man-to-man catch. It's so difficult that, Steve, Jalen Watson was just playing out of his mind this year. Like, this cat was playing great. He actually had a higher coverage grade by 10, 15 points, higher than Trent McDuffie. Like, that's how good he was playing.
Yeah.
It was just a career year for him. Hate to see it, but Jalen Watson earned everything he got this year. He stepped up big, and now look, it's Josh Williams' turn. I'm not thrilled with some of his boneheaded lapses. I'm not thrilled with some of his missed tackles. He's got a long way to go, but I think you got to give the guys grace and let them see what they can do. And Najee, hopefully he's not super injured or hampered by this, this concussion he got the other day. But Najee has proven that he's a injury magnet, huh?
It's a liability sometimes, yeah.
I think it's because he's maybe not as big.
Maybe he's a little bit smaller, but I think he'll be okay too. So I mean, we have some pieces there. But let's get back to this Josh Uche thing before we get out of here today, Mike. That's what the point of this live stream was, talking about the Chiefs adding another piece, getting an edge rusher there. Just a little bit on Uchi. I got just a small sentence from NBC Sports Boston's Patriots insider Phil Perry, who had this to say about Josh Uche. He says, it was a tough fit for him in New England, where he was a designated pass rusher. He's stiff upper lipped it the last couple of seasons, but now he's with a team where he should see an uptick in obvious pass rushing situations, and it could be the ideal marriage there.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we have to keep in mind. We can look at the stats all we want and see that he only had one really dominant year, and the rest was just kind of whatever. But I think now he's in a better situation for his play style. He's a piece that Spags is going to have a lot of fun with and be creative with. I think it could be pretty fun for everybody, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Look, let's get it right. His name is Uche.
It is, and I'm going to keep calling him Uchi. Unless he goes Marquez Valdez-Scantling on everybody, I'm going to call him Uchi.
Okay. Oh, Ooch.
Snoochie Boochie.
Big Ooch. Look, I think he's just going to be a piece. He's going to be fun to watch. He don't have to come in and light the world on fire. He's just got to help. He's got to help to where you can't double team everybody. So when Chris Jones is taking up double and triple teams, and look, Turk Wharton has had himself a season this year. He is just setting himself up to get paid in the offseason if he keeps producing. And the thing about Turk Wharton is he's always had that inside of him, but he's kind of struggled with injuries a lot. And this year he looks healthy and he's coming out and he's playing well. So I think George is starting to find his stride a little bit. But yeah, it's the whole Mike Danna thing. I think Mike Danna, they think that pec muscle is just not getting any better, Steve. So
It's just not.
Go out and get yourself a rental. And look, if he comes in and plays as good as we think that he is capable under Spags, maybe you can sign him here and he'll take a nice deal for us. He showed that he will. Now, that New England burned him a little bit, so I bet he don't take a nice team-friendly deal anymore, does he?
Yeah.
He'll say, daggone it. It's a business, dude. You can't trust these snakes.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? We got a 2-bomb from William Wright. Says, what is Joshua Uche stats against the Bills and Josh Allen? That's a good question. I don't have it right off the top here, Mike. I don't know if you can find it.
Just versus...
Yeah, I wonder what he's done against the Buffalo Bills, I guess is what he's asking. Because we are playing the Bills in
right.
just 3 weeks from now.
Let me see. They've not played Buffalo this season so far, so let me take it back to 2023. Let's go back to 2022. That was his big year he had. They played Buffalo week 13. He had a 93.4 defensive grade, which was one of the top 5 in the league that week. He had a 93 pass rush grade, which was a top 4 pass rush grade in the league that week. 2 sacks, a hurry, 2 sacks, a hit, 2 hurries, 5 tackles. That's what he had the first time they played Buffalo, and then they closed the season out with Buffalo. Not as good of a game that time. 6 total tackles, 0 sacks, 0 hits, but he did have 6 hurries. So he had one great game, and he had one subpar game. So, I mean, it's tough to just look at one guy versus one team. I think that's just something that, games
Shout out
a little bit.
Peter Ortiz on being a new member. Welcome to the ACU crew, baby. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Make sure to get in the chat. We got a great crew, man. Everybody's awesome. So appreciate you joining. You guys should also join. Just go to hit that join button and become part of the ACU crew. If you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed to it yet, you should do that, especially if you're a Chiefs fan. You love good Chiefs content. You're going to get it all right here. It all chiefed up. So hit that subscribe button, baby. And then we got another 2-bomb from Hannah. It says Belichick on McAfee said Uche is a great acquisition. And of course Belichick would know, right?
Yeah. Belichick drafted him. They didn't use him 1,000% balls to the wall in year one. It's the Patriots. They're kind of like the Chiefs. We don't tend to put rookies into the fire very early. We let them develop. That's what happened. They let him develop for a year and a half, and then they turned him loose in year 3, and he went crazy. Yeah. I don't know if he's got a huge injury history. That's the one thing I want to see about him, because why did he jump? Why did he fall off, so much from year 3 to year 4? Why was year 3 so dominant? So let me check his injury history. Let's make sure nothing crazy is going on here. Uche's injury history. He has hardly nothing. In 2020, he had a pedal ankle sprain, grade 2. He was placed on IR, missed just 5 games. He come back. And then in 2021, he had a back lower lumbar strain, and he missed 1 game. He missed week 3 versus the Saints due to a back injury. So that's all the injuries he has. So relatively injury-free. I think this is just a steal for the price we paid for him.
Yeah, for sure. Just real quick, Chief Kelsey says, Bobby Uche, baby. I'm Bobby Uche. That's what he's got to be. And Brian Parrott said, I'm going to get all wrote up because he must be at work getting all horned up about this trade, baby. He's watching all chiefed up.
Well, we'll let Brian get back to work here. Brian's got to get back to work. Steve's got to get to work.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Josh Uche. Uche. I think that's how he pronounces it. Uche, maybe.
That sounds
Who
fancy.
knows how he pronounces it?
Just go back to Uchi.
Steve, I'm more impressed that Brett Veach would bring a guy over that only has 4 letters in his last name.
He's going to end up hyphenating that bad boy.
He's going to find a way to hyphenate it.
It's going to happen. Appreciate you guys being here. Shout out BetUS for power in the live stream. Be horned, be pumped. The Chiefs are chasing that three-peat. Brett Veach is not sitting on his hands no more. He's making moves. So be happy about it. 7-0, getting better and better as the weeks go on. We got some guys coming back off injury soon. It's about to get good, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't. Check out betus.com if you haven't. And also hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And we'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.